And then Peterson had the fumble at midfield, and that was all she wrote. Jeff in Delaware, you're on the air.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Good.
What's up, Jim?
Well, I'm actually a pharmacist and a Bears fan, so I can answer your question about Ritalin and Adderall, and I got a question about the Bears as well.
Awesome. This is one of my favorite parts of the job. I feel like we can ask anything, and somebody's listening, call up and educate us. Go for it.
Well, as far as Ritalin and Adderall, for all intents and purposes, they're the same thing. They're both stimulants, both used for ADD. Granted, there are legal ways to get it, but as with everything, there's illegal ways to get it. And I think that's where, you probably know better than I do, how the NFL guys are getting in trouble.
I don't know how the NFL guys are getting it, Jeff, but I know guys in college that would sell it. And I also knew guys in college that would snort it to stay up at night for studying or whatever. And it was Ritalin, not Adderall. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the difference is, but...
I don't know. In pharmacy school, I had students who actually did the same thing, if that makes you worried about a lot of things out there.
You had fellow pharmacy school kids snorting Ritalin?
Yeah. Yes, they did. Study for exams.
Yeah, that would pretty much scare the crap out of me. Think about that.
Exactly.
I would say this. Hey, Jack, we make a new rule. If you are in pharmacy school and you snort something to stay up to study, you automatically fail. That should be a rule.
I agree. There's no drug test yet in the pharmacy school, which is disturbing, but there are none.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You've got to take a drug test to work for a company, don't get me wrong, but to get into pharmacy school, there are no drug tests.
Jeff, just out of curiosity, how hard is it to become a pharmacist?
Depending on your school, it's anywhere from a 5 to 6 year program. There are those who have said that it's harder than med school. I can't speak on behalf of that because I've never been through med school, but it was tough. A lot of chemistry, a lot of science, a lot of...
And are there a lot of checks and balances to make sure you guys aren't kind of skimming off the top, so to speak?
Most definitely. But as with everything, people find a way.
All right, so what's your question about the Bears?
I'm just wondering what's the status on the litany of injuries that came out of the game yesterday. Bad enough our offensive line was terrible. I think we lost, 2/5 of it yesterday.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm glad you said that. Because I've seen reported elsewhere people criticizing the Bears' O-line. Those guys played pretty well yesterday.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? People that watch that game, they see Cutler made a couple big-time throws under duress, and he did, and he deserves credit, but that was after 5 seconds. He had a lot of time yesterday. A lot of time against a good group. One time Chris Spencer got beat cleanly by Everson Griffin. But other than that, I thought the Bears' O-line stepped up and played a pretty darn good game. They lost both guards. Edwin Williams at left guard. They put Gabe Carimi, the failed right tackle, on at right guard. They actually did a decent job. I have not seen anything yet. Typically what happens, Jeff, is they're getting tested and stuff right now. If it's one of those things, if they're getting MRIs and stuff, it's 9:40 in Chicago. They're getting that right now, if they haven't already this morning. And the results, I'm sure Lovie Smith has a noon press conference, and he'll give an update, whatever information he offers up to the media, and we'll know more about Tillman, Forte, both guards. I can tell you that Spencer was still in uniform on sort of an emergency basis. So that would lend you to believe that I know Spencer's injury is not as bad as Lewis, because Lewis was just out right away.
Right.
So Spencer's is not as bad as Lewis. Hester was just out with the concussion. Tillman looked to me like he kind of wanted to go back in, and they thought, you know what, we don't really need you, we're winning by a lot. I don't think Tillman's that bad, and I don't know, Forte was limping pretty gingerly.
Yeah, that was like a bad bend on that ankle.
But that's why you pay the money that they paid for Michael Bush. That's why that's a good signing by Emory out there. You have another guy that you feel like can carry the load if Forte goes down, because running backs do go down.
Jeff, we appreciate the phone call and all that stuff we'll get up.